And Heather, you know I'm going to tell you to like get started
I
because
know.
we
It's
love it. It's
like
that
one
time.
minute, two, and we like to get through some of this housekeeping kind of stuff really quickly so then we can get to all the fun stuff, which is the cooking. And today's topic is cooking with greens. And I love that our
Right front
picture
and
right here
center.
on the
Yeah.
front is, right, was that Swiss chard? I got to get it
Yep.
right. Now, all those
Yeah.
greens underneath it, those are some of the things we're going to be showcasing in class today. So real quick, just if you're new to Microsoft Teams and like Allison was saying, just want to familiarize yourself with some of the icons. So everybody's microphones are muted and they will remain muted for the duration of the class, but we do want your engagement, so feel free to chat in as you can. And again, the videos are also shut off so that we can just showcase Chef Alyssa and her cooking. And by way of introduction, this is your team that's with you today. So we've got first and foremost the amazing Chef Alyssa Moreau, personal chef with more than 25 years of experience. She combines good flavor, good nutrition, focusing on healthy vegetarian plant-based meals. Her recipes have been featured in Vegetarian Times, Better Homes and Gardens, local cookbooks such as The Dash of Aloha. We are very lucky to have been partnering with her since we started this culinary medicine series over 5 years ago. So we're very grateful for her knowledge and all the amazing food that she shares with us as well. And then over on the Big Island, we got Allison Welch. She's one of our wellness coaches. She's been with Kaiser for over 20 years. We got myself, Heather Charles. I'm on Maui. So we are well represented across the islands this evening. And I'm also a wellness coach. And we start here with just the why. You know, why are we here tonight? What are we hoping to learn? And what is so special about this whole food plant-based diet that we dedicate an entire cooking class to it? And there really is a lot to get excited about because this is the only eating style shown to significantly cut your carbon footprint in half, but it's also scientifically proven to prevent and even reverse chronic diseases. We're talking about type 2 diabetes, coronary artery disease, and that's a really big deal. We can prevent and reverse disease with food as medicine. So what is a whole food plant-based diet? Well, it really celebrates food in its most natural form, closest to the way that it was grown. So that's going to include things like whole vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, legumes, nuts, and seeds. And while we are celebrating those foods, we're also at the same time minimizing some other foods. So minimizing the processed and the packaged foods, things that have a lot of refined sugars, white flour, or animal-derived foods. So, you know, thinking about all that and what you might have in your pantry right now can seem a little daunting to make some of those changes. And so we sum it up here. Actually, Michael Pollan summed it up here. He's an American author and a journalist. He's written extensively about food and health, and he coined this simple phrase to guide us. So it's eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. And most of us, I would venture to say, know that vegetables are good for us, and yet we might not be eating that many of them or as much as is recommended. And, you know, part of that barrier might be just this perception that they're a chore to eat or they aren't really delicious. And we're hoping to shift that mindset for you tonight, open you up to a new way of experiencing healthy food so we can love the food that's going to love us back. In addition, tonight we want to empower you with some additional knowledge and skills. So if you're curious to learn more after this evening, we're going to share some resource links in the chat that complement what we're doing here. So we encourage you to explore their program content for yourself on your own time. But the first one, and Allison will put that into the chat if she hasn't already, and it's a video series done by the Stanford School of Medicine. They put it together in 2016, but it's still very relevant. It's called Food and Health, and it's a series of 17 videos. They range from 3 to 5 minutes each, and they provide really practical skills, valuable information, again, on why we want to eat healthier and how we can get started in that direction. In addition to that, we've got another option, which is offered by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. They have a free library of video content on plant-based cooking. It includes kitchen knowledge, basic cooking skills, recipes, and handouts. So just some things to keep you going with that. And speaking of handouts, I want to just draw your attention. You should have gotten links to some whole food plant-based eating resources in your link for class today. One of them is this idea of a whole food, plant-based healthy plate. And you'll notice on this plate, right, it divided into different portions, and we want half of that plate dedicated to non-starchy vegetables. You'll also notice that instead of saying meat in that one corner, it says protein. And that includes plant-based proteins like beans and lentils and tofu. And those are the ingredients we're going to be focusing on in our classes. Really, you guys, the key takeaway that I want to show this to you for is just make your plate colorful. Right? Add as many colorful fruits and vegetables as possible. Fill it with a wide variety. Then you know you're on the right path. So we usually say we want to count plants instead of counting calories. And with that, let's get into the recipes that Chef's going to be preparing for us today. Before we dive into that cooking fun, I'm going to pull up the recipe. She's going to review the ingredients, and then I'll take the PowerPoint down and we'll be highlighting her cooking. We also want to just acknowledge that there may be a range of people attending tonight. For some of you, maybe it's your first time here and you're just wondering, what is this all about? And, how do I just get some more vegetables in my diet? Others of you have been with us for quite a while, or you might be really exclusively eating plant-based. So we're here to just support you with knowledge and resources to move in the direction you choose at the pace that you choose. The recipes we're sharing are adaptable to your personal taste and preferences. So Allison and I will be watching the chat. We'll be inviting questions. So we'll give you an opportunity to, ask questions, or if you want to share some ideas on substitutions if needed, we're happy to do that. We just want you to be inspired to hopefully do some more home cooking and just congratulate yourself for being here. Anything I missed, Allison? I think we got it all.
No,
We
time
covered it
to
all.
have Chef tell us what to
Let's
cook.
let's
All
look at what we're
right.
cooking tonight.
All right. Yeah. So we're starting out with collards, and it's cooking collards with corn. So this is what's in the camera here, front and center. So we're going to do a quick blanch of the collards, and we'll first start with the corn. Then we'll explain that part. Then we're going to move on to the collards, and then we're going to do a saute, and then add in those two cooked, the corn and the collards in it, and give it some sort of a little bit of a Southwest Mexican kind of flavor with the cumin and the garlic and the hot sauce and the bell pepper. Yeah, the fun recipe.
Yeah, sounds delightful and flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one sounds flavorful too.
Yeah,
Choy some
so
with
we
miso.
we're going to work with choy sum, which is in the choy family. So we talk a little bit about all the different choys. And we're going to do a quick blanch again. You could also steam this. We'll talk a little bit more about those options. And then we're going to whisk together this very flavorful drizzle sauce that you can put over it. And yeah, it's a fun recipe, great for potlucks, little side dinner vegetable. Yeah, it's delightful.
Does look delightful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we're going to have some fun with kale.
Yeah, so we have two kale recipes we're going to make. We are going to be experimenting with two kinds of, well, we have lacinato kale, the flat dinosaur type kale, and I'll show you the difference, and then the curly kale. And so we're going to bake some kale and make them crunchy and season them with, there's various kind of seasonings you can use. You just use a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and then you can do nutritional yeast, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. So you can have fun just seasoning them up.
And I love that this can be an affordable way to have this at home, because when you go to the stores and you look at buying the bags of kale chips, it's so expensive, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to learn how to do this for ourselves.
They're like small little bags too, right?
Yes, exactly. There's like 10 little leaves in there for $6. Yeah.
Goes really fast. Yeah, and then the other one we're doing is a kale guacamole. So we're going to lightly cook the kale, chop it up really fine, and then we're going to process it in. You can process or blend it in a blender, but we're going to process it in a small food processor today.
All right, well, let's get into the cooking fun. I'm going to take this down and Allison will have you spotlighted. There we go.
All right. So these are collard greens, and I don't know if you see them very often in the store. They sell them here locally. I actually got most of the greens, actually all the greens this week. I mean, for this week's class, month's class, at a store called excuse me, it's Ho Ili Ili Market. And that's connected with FarmLink here on the island, which is like an online store that just promotes local produce and all kinds of different local products. So what I do when I'm looking for collards, I like to, if possible, try and find them to look kind of young and tender, kind of thin leaves, and that they look fresh. And then what I do is I take the stem off. So I call it de-ribbing. So you're going to just take a knife and cut it away from you. And then once you have, I've done most of it. I just wanted to demo this. So you get an idea. You can also do it this way too. If they're real tender, you can just pull them off, which might be easier for people. It just depends on your
or a little bit
skill.
safer. If you're not as accustomed to working
knife,
with a knife, it could be
Yeah.
a little bit safer. For those of you
Yeah.
that are more advanced, the knife might be a great way to go.
And you know, you don't have to do that if you want. Like I used to cook, well, I still do, but it was a while ago that I was doing collards, and the wife was saying, just leave him in. He needs more fiber. So you can leave these in. They're just a little more chewy, or you can leave part of them in. You know, it's a great source of fiber.
You could put them in smoothies or something too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then I just, my friend taught me this one. So then I just stack these little leaves together and I roll them. I'm gonna put it face down, and then you roll it. Almost like, I guess you think of like tobacco, right? I don't know if I ever do tobacco, but you roll it up and then you just can julienne them very fine. Almost like if you're making coleslaw with a cabbage.
Yeah, it looks great.
And then this just lets them cook really quick.
Nice, and they do look young and tender,
Right?
easy to eat.
Aren't they gorgeous? Yeah. So then what I do, which I also learned, this is from my friend Kathy Maddox, who does a lot of cooking, is you get your a pot with water. So make sure that's on. Yep, that's on. So you want to blanch your corn first. And the theory is that collards are a little on the bitter side, right? So if you blanch the corn in the water and you cook it, then you take out your corn and you put the collards in your sweet corn cooking water, that it kind of makes it, takes out a little bit of the bite.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm going to put, I have some hot water on my stove. I'm going to just pour it in here, and that'll speed things along.
That is a great tip. You know, if you're trying to make things go a little faster, if you have one of those hot water kettles or you have it and you boil water ahead, it just takes a little time out. And you don't often think about that, but great tip.
Yeah, I do this a lot.
Someone was asking if there are different kinds of collards.
You know, I've just seen like ones that have been around for a while, you know, people haven't harvested, you know, that are kind of really big leaves and kind of tough. And then these young ones. So I haven't seen different varieties, like how there are different varieties of kale and the choys. Good question. I may just not know.
Well, I just was,
yeah,
I was looking it up and it was talking about loose leaf, Georgia, flat, ruffled leaves, large, Morris headings. There's lots of different ones grown. There's 100 variety globally. So there are lots of different ones. It's kind of probably like how there's so many different kales, but they do look a lot. Yeah.
I haven't seen them here locally, but
yeah.
that doesn't mean anything. I don't get to the farmers markets as much as I'd like to. That's where I would think they would be, you know, people like to try different varieties of, right, plants, farmers. Okay, so my water's hot. I'm going to put the corn in. And we'll see, right? We'll see how the steam is with the camera. You keep me posted, yeah, whether we want to do the next one
Yep.
over that camera.
So far, so good.
Okay. So we're going to just, again, for the sake of this, we're going to say that that's boiling, cook, 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 cook.
And are you just using like a frozen corn?
I do. And,
Yeah.
you know, again, you know, I'm not trying to promote anything, but I really like Target has a great organic corn. And the peas, I don't know what's going on with the peas. They're like, yeah, they're very, very starchy, and I won't buy peas, but the corn is really good. And
Good
I
to
was
know.
reading somewhere that the yellow corn is really good for your eyes. I don't know, something about the pigment, whatever's in the corn, it's good for
Mhm.
your eyes. And so I have, in my family, we have macular degeneration. So my mom, she can't see. So I'm always kind of thinking about what's good for the eyes, right?
Yeah.
Spinach, corn, and it's the yellow corn. So I thought, oh, it's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
What are
Well,
those
and
called?
that's a
Carotenoids, or it's like carrots they're very good. Yellow corn is loaded with them.
well, and
Yeah,
actually, you guys, greens are great for the eyes also. So they have a
right.
lot of essential A, C, and K vitamins, which are great
Mhm.
for the eyes. I know we had our doctor, our eye doctor at Maui Lani. He would do an eye prevention series, and he always talked about the end. It just had a big picture of kale. Eat kale to
Oh,
protect your
yeah,
eyes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like a natural sunscreen too for your eyes.
Yeah,
Oh,
carrots are
isn't
good
that
too.
good to know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got my corn has been blanched in my water. I'm doing this a little faster than probably I would the kitchen.
But I do
And
like it. I mean, blanching
mm,
really makes things go quickly.
yeah, and then I'm getting the water back up to boil. And then what I'll do is I will put in um, probably 2 batches. Let me just see. It's just space too. You want it to cook and not get overcrowded.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm seeing that it's boiling.
Okay, we're with you.
Right. Okay. And I bet I could do that all. This is a good size pot. These ones I had cut up beforehand. And then usually this is about 4 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if you are
I-
new to cooking greens, I think it is not, I mean, I'm hoping most of us have, but you think it's so much when you start. Don't be scared of the bulk of your, like if you get a lot of
Right. Yeah.
kale or chards or collard greens, like
Mhm.
they're gonna cook down. Gonna
Well,
cook down.
Mhm.
exactly. Well, and just to add a little fun tip while you're
Yeah.
busy cooking that is that, right, 9 out of 10 Americans fall short in their recommended daily intake of greens, which is one of the reasons this is such an important class to do, so we can see more ways to integrate it. So the recommended intake is at least 1 cup of cooked greens or 2 to 3 cups of raw greens daily. So yeah, they do cook down quite a bit, but even 1 cup of cooked greens is good for the day.
And what is it, 2 to 3 of raw?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Kind of the minimum.
Nine?
Yeah, you can always do more. Yeah.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 people are,
Yeah, fall short.
wow,
Yeah, with
wow.
greens.
Say the
Yep.
volume
Wow.
again. 1 cup of cook.
1 cup of cooked greens or 2 to 3 cups of raw greens daily. Hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's always a good
And that
reminder.
could be right, kale, other greens, right? Broccoli,
Mhm.
spinach, collards, cabbage, watercress,
Mhm.
right? There's so many varieties in there. We're just showcasing a few of them. But
Right.
look at that beautiful green color offers us a lot.
Yeah.
And that's really when I'm cooking greens, I want to keep it nice and vibrant. And that's one of the in the next recipe it talks about doing an ice bath, you know, if you really want to I don't want it to start turning colors like when you overcook broccoli, right? Or peas.
Hmm.
It's like, oh,
It,
you know,
it can go from vibrant to mushy very quickly, so you do
very
not walk
quickly.
away from it, as I
Yes,
have learned.
yes,
Maybe that's
yes.
why the 9 of 10, they've had that link from childhood where they had that one
Mushy
mushy
broccoli
one
or
too
something,
much.
yes.
We're going to change that for you now, showing you how
Ah,
blanching quickly
yeah.
will not be that.
Yeah, my sister, it was canned peas and she could
Yes.
not eat. Yeah. So I don't remember growing up with canned peas, but maybe it stopped after her. Yeah. So this has been it's bubbling, and I've got, hold on one second, I got the water going for the soy sauce. I'm just gonna pop this here, and then what we're gonna do is let it finish in 1 minute on the stove. And we're gonna saute. We'll go ahead and saute while that's finishing up. We'll go ahead and start the saute in this skillet here.
Of the choice sum, is that the one you're kind of
No,
multitasking?
we're still on the, we're gonna saute in a little olive oil, the onions.
For the corn and the collards, yeah.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, we're still segueing into putting this all together. Okay, so I've got about some thin sliced onion. And I've got some bell pepper. And
Yeah, I think, it's a good thing if you have issues, gut issues, it's always good to talk to your doctor about what you can take and how you can eat them, certain foods. But most of us, really, the healthy plate is the baseline for what helps support our healthy eating, our healthy digestion. So, and as you're kind of getting that ready, as reading what Steve said, like with green beans, it's the same thing. Someone got them overcooked once, and then you get that first fresh one, or that snap pea for the person who didn't like your sister, who didn't like the canned peas. They have their first fresh one, and it's like, oh, this is heaven. It's
Isn't
always
it,
so
yeah.
fun.
Isn't it funny
Yeah.
how those childhood ones can really stay with us well into adulthood and we
Oh,
just still are
Brussels
aversive to
sprouts,
it?
right? You
I
ate them
know.
once wrong, and then you had it the way someone cooked it and roasted it, and it's
You're
like
like,
my
I didn't know it
favorite
could be
thing.
good. I
I
know, me
never
too.
knew.
I loved Brussels sprouts. I was like, why is everybody complaining about these? They're really good. But
Oh,
yeah, it does depend upon the preparation.
yes.
so we got the onions and the red bell peppers sauteing. I just got the kale, the timer went off, and I just poured it into, drain the water. So it's in the soup. I'll go get that. Let this cook a little bit, and then I'm going to add in, I've got some cumin. You could
Is
add
that
chili powder.
ground cumin or cumin
Yeah.
seeds? I can't say
Ground
ground
cumin.
cumin. Hmm.
You can really add whatever you want. You can add a little bit of oregano. I tend to do either oregano, cumin. Sometimes I add chili powder. Sometimes I add like some cayenne, or I've got a little bit of garlic. I'm always trying to be mindful of when I add the garlic that it doesn't overcook.
Yeah, can burn pretty quickly. But sometimes after you put it in with the vegetables, it kind of has that buffer. It's a little
Yeah,
easier. That's
yeah,
nice.
exactly. I want to make sure there's enough in there and just monitor the heat.
I just get so happy looking at colorful food. It
I was
just
just
looks so
thinking that. I was
pretty.
like, this is already very colorful, and we're going to add
Yeah,
it on top of that beautiful bed of
greens.
greens.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Actually, yeah, usually I mix it in with get my hands in here.
That's good. I have, I have cumin and I don't use it a lot and I always hear about it. So it's nice to see. I didn't think about it
Mm.
with sort of the corn, so that's great.
Mm-hmm. And I'll bring in our star of the show. So this is the nice cooked collards. It's very, very tender. I always get excited when I see young collards. Like, oh,
It's
just,
great.
the things we get excited about.
Yeah.
I know that's true.
Uh,
Okay, did you put the corn and the greens, in an ice bath after they
I
were
didn't.
boiled? No, not this
No,
time.
I just drained them. You could, but I'm just doing it quick and easy together. I'm gonna, my intent is making this and serving it.
so
And I
would
think,
you
yeah.
would you recommend that at home or no need?
You could, it just,
Mhm.
I think it's really how, if you want the comfort level, that
Mm.
they're not going to get overcooked. I think I'm not as nervous about it. I still make lots of mistakes, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of, used to the volume in my pot and the draining it and the timing. So putting it in an ice bath or putting it in the fridge to cool down a bit is always just a nice added, comfort.
Kind of a
That,
safety net, huh?
yes, exactly. That you're not
Mm.
it's not gonna continue cooking.
But I think you made a good point when I had asked this question to you before that, if you know you're going to eat it right away, most of the time
Mm-hmm.
you're good. And a lot of times
Right.
it doesn't last very long in our house. We eat that up quickly.
Right. And so here, I with all recipes, I really firmly believe in, just the flavors to taste. So do you want to add a little bit of hot sauce? Do you want to, does it need to be a little spicier? You could top it with a little bit of cilantro. You could put some toasted pumpkin seeds on top of
That
this.
sounds great.
There's all kinds of fun things you could do. And then I had said in the recipe, you could add, some sauteed kale or tempeh, tofu or tempeh,
Mm-hmm.
would just round out the meal.
Yep. Yeah, we got a half the plate veggies real quick with lots of color.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just finish this. I'd like to, keep a little bit of the corn just for the top for, for pretty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
vibrant
I think this
color.
is a good way, I spent a lot of time in the South when I was young. And so collard greens, it's kind of the same thing as links of some things. Like they were just really overboiled. And the fact I never thought of adding corn or adding something to make it just feel a little more vibrant. And that might be a way to kind of help people who haven't had a lot of greens before add a
Mhm.
vegetable that they might be comfortable with,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good point. Okay, so this is
Beautiful.
recipe number 1. Yum. Okay.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so we're going to move on to a choy. And let me just you put that little bit of olive oil on the top of that. Move
All right, so we're
on.
moving on to the choy sum with
Choice. Yeah.
miso sesame sauce. I love the flavor of the sesame sauce, so
Me too.
pretty excited about this one.
Don't burn yourself, chef.
Yeah, I just want to be mindful of everything here.
And the
Take your time.
surprising thing, you guys, is that greens are actually really rich in protein. That a single cup of kale has 3 grams of protein for 33 calories. So you got a lot of nutrient-dense
Wow.
food packed with fiber that are low calorie at the same time. So shouldn't be going hungry, right, with this stuff. You should be filling up. You can eat large volumes for small amount of calories.
I'd say it again, 3 grams of protein in how many
Mm-hmm.
cup? In one
In 1
cup?
cup of kale,
One
3 grams
cup.
of protein.
Wow.
Yep. So plants have
Wow.
protein too.
We
So
love the
this is,
choice.
this is our choice. I'm going to just quickly, oh no, that's not, excuse me, here. I've got all these trays with all my ingredients. Okay, so this is, oh, this is still on. Okay, burner was still going. Okay. So this is choy sum. And if you're not familiar, if you've gone to like Chinese restaurant locally, this is a great side dish. I love choy sum. Um, there's all kinds of choys. You probably know bok choy, probably the most, right? Bok choy or pak choy. I would think that's probably the most. There's one that's bok choy is, well, they serve that a lot in Chinese restaurants. Pak choy, Pak, has a white stem. And this is choy sum, and you'll often see that it will have some flowers in it, which you can eat. You just add that into your recipe. You don't have to cut it out. And I just wanted to show you that sometimes they come with kind of fatter stems, And they can get a little woody, but I also just tend to slice them down the middle. That's what I do because I like them. They get kind of filled with moisture, whatever you're cooking it in, and they are. I like to eat them. So I think you just kind of gauge. I'm going through. Sorry, but I tend to do it that way. I'll keep the thick stems And then you can find out later whether it's too woody or not. But I I still cook them. Because when they aren't, they're delicious. So that's why I just kind of do it like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to quickly blanch these. Sometimes if you've got a lot of, one way you can do it too, with all the choys, if you see them in the market, is you can separate out the stems. Excuse me. Sneeze. Wait. I'm gonna sneeze. You can separate out the stems, and we'll show you that later too, because I've got some Swiss chard. And you can steam these first and then add in the leaves at the end. So that's another way you can do it. Okay. So I'm just showing you different ways that you can cook it, because this will take a little longer to cook than the leaves are just like a really quick, fast cook. So
Same when you're doing the stir fry, well, throwing it
same
in,
thing,
doing the
right?
stems
Yeah.
and cook them up a little and then throw in the leaves.
Yeah.
It's true.
Exactly, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to put this here for now. And I'm going to bring over, okay, I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to bring the burner back.
We so appreciate her multitasking in this little space and shifting between all these different appliances and things, and of course staying safe at the same time.
And not spilling my condiments with the cord.
Exactly.
Because that's a sesame oil.
Yeah, take your time. And the thing is, one thing, if you could do it all like this, it makes it that much easier if we can do it too. If she can do it on camera with the with all
juggling hot plates.
That's right.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I want to show you how I did my ginger and garlic. Okay, so I'm going to bring over the hot water because I've got it in the kitchen. So I'm going to get my skillet going.
Now this choy sum is new for me. Have you guys cooked with this? Have you cooked with this, Allison?
I use bok choy more. I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know, I've eaten it when I go out, just like Alyssa said, you know, when I go out and have food, go to Chinese restaurants and go and get it, I get more of that there. And so I'm excited to try something new.
I'm excited that we can actually eat the flowers as well. Because
me too. They look so pretty.
Add some more color.
Okay, so I am just going to put them all in. So if I'm going to put in my stems, these might be a little too woody, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because it like is boiling in the pot in the kitchen, and then when I transfer it here, I don't get how that works.
I think it's starting. It's starting to boil.
I think it's the smaller surface on your.
But the concept, the burner.
Yeah.
The concept is you want the water boiling, put it in. Again, this is you have a little bit of variance with the cooking demos. Come on. And I talk to my food. Yes. You can do it. Boil.
I love the tip we had in the chat that we got was choy sum bok choy at Costco. They've been stocking them from local farms. I did not know that, so that's great to know.
Very nice.
And that's why I say don't get scared when you look and say, oh, this is just so much. How am I going to eat it all? It's so great. They taste so good. And there's so many different ways to cook it.
All right. So again, with all of these, and, this is something I'm going to say later about the kale chips, but it's always good to kind of watch because they can overcook really quick. So.
What are we watching for? Just them to change color or soften?
Change color, and get soft. I'm just, I'll show you as this water was boiling, and it's on max. But you want the leaves to they're still nice and green. And for me, I mean, I like my greens crunchy, right? I want that stem crunchy. So this could be it right now. See how they're getting kind of
just almost doesn't want to say sweetens it up, but a bit just changes when you take it from raw to that. It just really brings out that wonderful taste of the choy.
I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to use the Collard steaming
We don't
strainer.
mind at all. See, this is the
Okay.
way this makes us feel like we can do a lot of different greens at a time.
Yeah. Okay, so it's wilted, nice and bright green. I think these guys are a little too fat. They look a little woody. So I cut them open, but we'll see. I'll still try and eat them.
Good fiber.
Yeah,
Add
good
that
fiber.
level of crunch, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that level of crunch. Maybe I'll try and steam them a little bit later after class. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to, this is where you could put some ice cubes on it and put it in your fridge. My fridge is pretty full right now. Or I have a really good habit of things that, like, if I quickly want to put something in the freezer and then I forget about it. I don't know if you've ever done that, like you're blanching
Yeah.
broccoli and then it's like you got to set a timer to remind yourself, oh, right, I put that in 5 minutes ago. It's maybe too long.
And that ice bath, that doing the cold is what just stops it. Otherwise it keeps
Yeah,
cooking,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And it may
yeah,
get not the texture that you want it to be. So
right.
yeah.
It could just keep cooking. So you can.
Keeps the color. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is too, you could steam this if you want, but I do like Allison was saying, it's nice and quick and easy. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. And I am going to put this in the kitchen. And then move the burner.
You need 2 more hands.
Okay. Okay. Where do you want to go, burner? Okay. All right. So we're going to move on, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to quickly cut them.
You can always tell a chef because your hands, you guys can grab warm stuff without any even thinking. You always can tell people who've been cooking a while.
This is the way I do it. I just think of, like, what would go in your mouth. I tend to, at the leaf part, I tend to kind of cut them long ways so that it's getting hot like that. And then I like to plate it. I do this with spinach too. I don't know if you.
Oh, that's nice. Mine's a little messier when I throw it in the bowl, I must admit, but that's why you're the chef.
Well, she has all these beautiful bowls
She
too to
does.
plate them
She
with.
really
We eat with
does.
our eyes. So I love that you take the time to make it visually appealing as well.
Well, this is such a great one too to take to a picnic at the beach or wherever, you just make this ahead of time the day before, chill it down, and then it's a nice little cold side.
Yeah, it's good warm or
Ooh,
cold. That's I
yeah,
bet.
right?
It sounds
Yeah.
refreshing when you're at the beach and
Mhm.
it's hot and then you pull out all
Yeah.
this. Yep.
Yeah. And just wipe that down. And so with the sauce dressing, I just am putting everything. You could put it in a bowl, but I'm going to just put this in a little jar and whisk it. I just figure maybe I make less of a mess. Not sure, but I did want to show you. Yeah. I did want to show you that I used this for my ginger and my garlic. You could mince it fine, but I actually just did a knob and just grated it. And then what I do if you have one of these, which is basically, I think, for Parmesan or cheese, then it grates and then you just scoop the paste off with the little spatula. And that's what this is. So it just kind of a fun little tip if you have one of these
They're
little
great.
micro plane. You have one? Yeah,
Yep.
these are fun. Yeah.
Yep, I
Mhm.
use that too.
Do you do it for garlic and ginger?
I do it for ginger, not usually for garlic. I have the garlic
Mhm.
press if I want to press the garlic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
I do for garlic too because it really does shave down nicely on that.
just gotta
Mm-hmm.
watch your fingertips when you get
You
close if they're
do.
small.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm just mixing this all together. Um, oh, that's what it was. I'm looking at this and I'm going, that seems like a lot of miso. So I was just pulling up the recipe. I measured out 2 tablespoons instead of 2 teaspoons.
I
So
love miso. I would have probably loved it.
yeah, well, I'll just not put as much as I had. Okay.
But I think this is good to see. Don't get scared. Like if pay attention,
Oh,
look back, you can always take a
yeah.
little out if you're at that step.
So this is sesame oil, toasted sesame oil, and a little avocado oil. I just combined them for the sake of, again, mess. Running out of little bowls. So I've got that. And then I've got rice vinegar. It says 1 to 2 tablespoons. So this is 2 tablespoons. So I'll start with 1, see how that tastes it. Then I have sweetener, which is agave tonight, but it could be honey, it could be maple syrup. This it helps if it's liquid. And then we have tahini, one of my favorites,
Me
sesame
too.
seed paste.
Makes everything taste rich and
Oh, I know, it's just. And then we're just gonna mix that together. Mix to taste.
And thanks to these classes, I now put on my wish list the little mini whisk, and I finally got
yeah,
one, and I
Good.
use it all the time.
yeah.
Yeah,
One of my most
right?
used, yeah, it's
So I'm
great.
just gonna give it a little, I always like to do a little taste. I'm gonna put the rest in. Plus it makes it little more liquid, yeah. If it's too thick, you can even add just, a little more water. But that's the thing about having something that's been blanched, it's gonna have a little water in it. So there
That's
might be a
right.
little residual water.
I'm getting hungry.
Me too. I hope you guys are at home.
And
What I
then I
love is
toast.
it makes it easy. You make it look like I can do this. So I'm always excited when I'm done. I'm all that I could do this.
And then you've got a little extra sauce. I didn't cook. I had 2 bunches of choy sum, but I just, for, the pan and everything, you could use the rest of this on, do 2 batches of choy sum. And then I had actually toasted up some sesame seeds. And so I'm just have a little bit of crushed toasted sesame seeds. I had some gomasio that I'd made, the little rock salt. You could do green onions. But anyways, this is just kind of the end product of making a nice
Fantastic.
cold dish.
Beautiful. And I love, like you
Yeah.
were suggesting, you could easily make a larger batch of this,
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
right?
yeah.
To
So
have
I
too.
do have, yeah, like I said, this is 2 batches of choy sum. And it depends on, I mean, you can say excuse me, 2 bunches, but yeah, it depends on where you're getting it. You're getting it at the farmer's market, you're getting, what the store is and how big they are. Sometimes they're really small, Foodland, it depends. So it's all just it's all kind of variants.
hmm
And it doesn't have to be choy sum. It could be bok choy, it could be pak choy, it could be spinach. You can just blanch or steam some greens and make the sauce, and it could be the chard, it could be the kale, so you've got,
Yeah.
kind of fun.
I
I
think this
love that.
sauce would be delicious on so many vegetables,
hmm
on roasted
Yeah.
vegetables, on salads. Just seems like a nice
Even some
versatile
sweet
one.
potatoes might be good on some of
Hmm.
that too.
Oh,
hmm
Get creative, you guys.
Yep.
okay, we're gonna move on to our guac. You
Okay.
doing okay? All
Yep.
right.
Yeah. Got
Okay.
about 15 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I know the time goes by when we're having fun.
I mean,
speed up a
four
bit.
things in an hour. That's what's so nice. Little meal prep. It really is encouraging what you could get done if you're busy and you feel like, I mean, it's easy to make what quickly for a dinner that night, but just like you said, this would taste delicious for lunch tomorrow.
Yep. As I said,
Mm.
if we're aiming to get
Yeah,
even 1 cup, these are cooked so far, but like
yeah.
cooked greens, we look at all these varieties that we have. It doesn't have to be boring and bland, and we kind
Yeah.
of burn out on it. Right? We got 4 different ways to prepare it just in this like 45 minutes of class.
Okay, so we have, let me show you the kale. And I'm just going to rinse my avocados. So we're working with, you can use either kale, but I used, geez, what did I used curly kale for this. I like, what green am I working with? So I always buy like what extra avocados, right? When you have to
Yeah.
like whether it's going to be a surprise inside when you going to cut it open.
I'm excited to see you
So
use the curly kale in this because sometimes that always seems scratchy. So I like the idea of blending it.
yes,
Like,
yeah, and I did a quick blanch. No, I actually steamed this one. So I steamed it, I cooled it, I de-ribbed it. So again, it's like you can take the rib off this way, and then you can steam that, chop it. You can also use a blender if you don't have a little food processor. It's another way you can do it. All right, so basically in a food processor, combine. So I'm going to start with the larger avocado and see where we're at. I had two, what did I have? I had a local lemon and a local lime, and they were so juicy. So, um, it's okay. It's not the best. So I think we're gonna have to move to. Okay, let's just move on to another one and see where we're at. I don't want to fuss with this just because, right?
yeah.
So, aha, there we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to get a backup.
Mhm. And
Stress.
if you get those avocados, sometimes I get them at Costco, the little ones, and they're all hard. If you
Mhm.
put them in a paper bag and you
Yeah.
kind of close them up and leave them in there for a day or two, they really ripen up pretty quickly.
So I tend to do that in half. Then I do the second half of the seed in quarters. And for this, I just scoop out. It's so nice. I mean, this one looks nice that there's not going to be any brown spots, but I tend to, I'll check if I'm wondering, like that other one, that one wasn't not even worth. These aren't that big, so I'm going to do two. I just cut them in half, twist, scoop out.
Look like perfect ripeness.
Mm-hmm.
They do. She's doing that so easily. They
I
just slide
know.
right out of that shell.
I'm going to cut this one in half, twist.
I like that idea. I've often whacked the seed with a knife. I kind of think your
Mm.
way is safer.
No, here, this one's a little firmer on the,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. Oh, no. Oh, good, I have this little rubbish bowl down there. Okay, there we go. So we got our avocado. Messy, messy hands. Okay, so I'm gonna put in the kale.
And again, I love this idea too, because sometimes kids love guacamole, and if you want to add in some more greens, it's just a little more green, and
Exactly, right? Nobody needs to know what's in there, the secret
it's, I
ingredient that
just
makes it
love
a little
it.
more bright green.
I would never have thought of this. I just never, I was
Okay,
so excited about this.
so I have some minced white onion. And I have some tomato.
Take the
And,
seeds out and just kind of take the skin with the tomatoes.
um,
Did
actually,
you?
yes, but these ones actually were little cherry ones. So yes, that
Yeah.
is the concept. And like with Romas, you can even squeeze them a little bit with the seeds out if it's going to be pulsed in. That was the garlic. This is the lemon, lime, or else lime and lemon. Yeah, the lemon's 2 tablespoons. They were very juicy, which was fun. Salt and cayenne. Okay, let's see how this processes. Fingers crossed.
Here we go. Bet it'll be great. And again, it's sort of, you have to decide the texture, right? Some people like it really creamy. I like my guacamole a little chunky.
Yeah, so we'll see how I can do this.
Well, like Allison earlier, how you were saying, we think about maybe a kale pesto or replacing, right, greens with some of those types of dressings and things, but I never thought about it with a guacamole.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
The other thing, if you didn't want to blanch your kale, you could massage it with some salt, and get it kind of softened before you process it.
It's real, massaging kale. I didn't know that till we had a raw kale salad, which was delicious, but you had to massage it for a very long time. And I thought it was crazy, but it was so good because I'm not one who would ever think of, oh, I'm going to eat raw kale, but it was really good. So massaging.
And it
That's
also
one
shrinks
vegetable.
quite a bit once you start massaging it. That big bowl goes down to about like a cup.
Yeah.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a bowl.
All right, well, maybe the kids would see it in there, but that's okay. Tell them it's a
You
new
could
flavor.
process it a little more if you want.
Could.
We'll
I
call
like it
this
like that.
adult
Adult guacamole,
chunky,
adult
yeah.
kale guacamole.
This is, again, we can chill this in the fridge, bring
Looks
it to the
good.
beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice and refreshing.
And yeah. So you
Be great on a
could
salad.
definitely, or what you could do too, if you could put it in the blender, half of it, and
Yeah.
blend up the kale so that it's,
Oh, blend the
and
kale
then-
first so it's a little more pureed.
right,
Yeah.
and then have the rest of it go in and be chunked, pulse and chunky. So that's
It's
another
like we
way
do
to
with
do it.
soups, right? That's another class, how you can decide the
Mhm.
creamy texture.
Right. And then
Delicious.
I'm thinking to do something like this, right? Maybe just
You're always about your color and presentation. We like that.
yeah, just makes it a little more.
I feel healthy just looking at it.
I do too. I don't know if anyone else has a garden, but our tomatoes, we have so many. And so it's
Oh,
so
you're so
good.
lucky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, just a little color variance.
Beautiful.
Okay, all right. So we're going to show the 2 different kinds of kale, right? And move forward into talking about kale chips.
Yeah, we're down.
And
We have
then-
about 10 minutes left. A little bit
so
under.
then I just want to show you chard really quick too. So,
Perfect.
I love that there are just so many things to fill this class with, so many greens, right? That we're just like running out of time talking about all of our greens.
We could have had a 2-parter. Maybe we'll think about that for 2027. We could do a spinach class of kale.
So this is put this over here. This is, see if I can get this out of the way. The lacinato. Did I say that right, Heather?
You did. I have to admit, you guys, so when we were pre-class and we were talking about the kale, and I always said it as Lacinto kale, which is not even how it's spelled, but I don't know, in my head I always called it Lacinto kale, and she's calling it lacinato, and so we looked it up, and of course she's correct. And so this was a big aha for me today. It's like blowing my brain that I've been saying this variety of kale wrong for who knows how long. Nobody's corrected me.
Yours sounded like it would be south of the border,
Right?
Lacinto, but Lacinato, I don't know, but it's
no
very
idea.
beautiful. Look how beautiful that is.
Yes, so otherwise known as, you said, dinosaur kale. It's another kind of name for it.
Yes. So this is this is just really delicious kale. They both are. But again, you can do the ribbing, derib. Again, I should doing some on too how sharp your knife is. But I would do it, away from you. to you, close to you, towards you. And for the kale chips, which I'm not sure I'm 100% positive on my end products, but the goal is to get crunchy chips. And the biggest thing is you want your kale to be dry. So you wash your kale, you dry it really well, and then you can cut it into pieces or tear it, which I was tearing into pieces. And then you can season it. You don't want a lot of oil. Okay. So I've done 3 batches before class. I think I ate the first batch. That was really good. Kind of forgot about yeah, it was so tasty. Let's be good to show it. So you want it really dry, and then you can pull it apart to pieces.
And I think you said something really important. We often think, okay, I'm going to do a lot of oil because then it'll be like fried, and this you don't need it. So light-handed.
Yeah, right. Just try and get it as dry as possible. And the last batch, which is it's actually really good lesson. I think the last batch, have to go check because it came out right when class started. But I think I put a little too much oil, and I am doing maybe 2 of these leaves. What would they call stems, stalk leaves, with a half a teaspoon of oil. And that was I think that was too much oil. But I really like the.
Yeah. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Heather said it well. It's sort of, you have to experiment a little when you're trying this.
And I'm cooking it in a smart oven, a Breville smart oven. So it's small. And I tried to do the air fryer, and that immediately burnt it. It was way too hot, too quick. And when I do air fryer, I don't know, again, Heather, I think you have your own air fryer, right? It's not within an oven, right? It's its own air fryer.
Right. It's just one appliance of an air fryer. Yeah, so not multi-appliance.
Okay, because on my air fryer, it immediately goes to 450 degrees. And I always drop it down.
Yeah, mine starts at 350, I think, or 375 or something.
Yeah, because 450 is just like it's a dragon's,
Right. Too powerful.
Yeah, way too powerful. So, okay. So I'm going to just, I like nutritional yeast, just a little bit of yeast. You can like it's in the recipe, you could do, the chili, onion, smoked paprika, cayenne. I kind of just like the yeast and
salt.
Can
you show the bottle of the yeast? Because some people might not be familiar with that. Or do you have it? Oh, you don't have it.
Darned if I didn't. I emptied it and I was in the fridge emptying.
No problem.
No, but it's just ironic because it's been there for 2 months, and I was just going to refill it from bulk, and I finally thought I'm just going to toss it. Yesterday I tossed it. Sorry.
It's just like a
That's all right. I've got it. I'm
yellow.
Put a picture in right here.
But I have it.
I know not everybody's familiar.
I have some yeast from my mom. I had taken some to her house, so it's just it's the kind of
what they say to put on flavor,
popcorn. Yeah, it's delicious.
If you're not familiar with it.
So I'm just going to put a little salt. I'm just this little.
So instead of eating popcorn while you're watching the movie or watching a show at night, you switch over to some kale chips.
Right.
Get your 1 cup of kale.
Yeah, and then so this is my batch that came out. You just kind of got to watch it. This was the batch that came out of the oven. They're still nice and crunchy, but I was saying when we were setting up, I'm like, oops, I smell them burning. So it's really good if you're going to make kale chips. Keep an eye on it. Kind of, test your oven, how it works, how much you put on. I mean, how much, space you have on your pan, because you really don't want it to overlap. You want them to all be.
Have space.
Thank you very much.
So kind of look from that 4-minute mark on.
We are? Okay.
No. Oh, you're right on time. We're 1 minute away from class being done.
Okay,
so
well then let me just, I'm just gonna say, I would drizzle just a little more oil on here. I would actually measure half a teaspoon for this bowl. And I will go ahead and cook it. But I wanted to show you the end product, and I wanted to show you Swiss chard really, really quick, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Okay?
please.
Okay, thank you. Wait. So this is Swiss chard. Probably most of you are familiar with Swiss chard.
This might have been what they were talking about earlier. I don't know who had mentioned saying yellow color. A lot of chards have different stock
So
colors,
this
like the
is,
rainbow.
yeah, this is rainbow chard. So there's some chard that is all with a green stem, but then there's some that have the red and yellow stems, which you can eat. And this is kind of like how we were talking about with the choys. You would saute this first, so you would cut off the stem and saute that. And then you would cut up the chard. The chard tends to, I don't know if the word is, I want to say exude, but it makes a lot of liquid when you're cooking it. So a lot of times I like to just do a, because I feel like I have to drain the liquid when I'm sauteing it. And if you're seasoning your chard, it's like you kind of draining off your seasoning. So I tend to steam it. And then I will like how I did with the collards, then I would saute some vegetables. This I've done before with like onions and even like cranberries. Do a little bit of cranberries in there, a little balsamic vinegar, olive oil. That's a really nice combination. Pine nuts, things like that. But it is just it's a fun green to cook with, and we could maybe showcase it at another class. But I just wanted to show you it because it's another very, I would think it's pretty well known Swiss chard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Any,
it is beautiful.
Okay, any comments from you two girls about how you would use chard?
Now I have a couple soup recipes. I mean, now this season in the summer it's warm, so I'm not making so many soups, but definitely in the winter months I love adding, kale or Swiss chard to my soups, just to add the greens in there, and then they just kind of cook down with everything. Add them kind of maybe 5 or 10 minutes towards the end, and they turn out great. But I love these ideas.
Yeah, and you see it a lot with white beans too, right? Cannellini beans, chard,
Yep.
kind of we see them together quite a bit.
Yep.
But hopefully I've given you some ideas on how to use your greens.
Yes. How are you guys feeling out there? Does it feel doable? Any questions that you have? So people going to be making some greens this next week? We hope so. And while we're looking, if there's any questions or any comments in there, let me just pull up the PowerPoint as we close out class, because you guys, we do this every month. We hope you come and join us. Yes.
Yep, that exactly. Thank you, Chef Alyssa, for all those great ideas. Got us 4 different things in an hour. Wonderful. Yeah, next month.
Next month. We won't make Chef come back next week already. We got to give her a little bit of a break between. But next month, you guys, our topic will be quick and easy pasta meals. So I'm sure we'll be having some fun with that.
Yeah, that should say July, right? Not the
June.
Whoops. Okay.
Yeah, June.
So quick and easy. So it'd be July 23rd. I'm going to write it in.
Thanks for catching that.
Yep, July 23rd is our 4th Thursday.
Yeah. And for those of you, I see a few of you saying, hey, I'm going to go to the farmer's market. Reminder, we do have farmer's markets at some of our Kaiser Permanente facilities as well. So next time you're going there or getting a prescription or something, maybe stop by and support our local farmers. Again, here's all the topics that we have for the remainder of the year. So we're here every month except for the month of December. So we got some fun topics coming up. And we also want to highlight just some of the other classes we have to offer. And these are all virtual. They're offered every month. Some of them are on like pre-diabetes, diabetes. We've got sleep. We've got making peace with food. We've got taking care of your heart. So a wide range of classes. We hope that we'll be able to see you in a few other ones as well. And if you want some support in putting what you're learning into practice, maybe you're finding you're coming to class, but haven't made a recipe yet, partner with a coach. We'd love to support you in that and making some goals and having some support and accountability one-on-one. And with that, thank you for joining us this evening, and have some fun in the kitchen. Let me pull this down.
Yeah, let's have her. There
Let's
we
look at all
go.
those
Well,
greens
and I
again.
know.
Yeah, and we've got the dishes.
Wow, look at
Yep.
that.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that. Hang on right there. Leave
Mhm.
that there so I can take a picture of that. If you don't mind, don't move for 1 second.
We'll be right
Okay.
over.
There you go. Now you can put it. That's perfect. That looks beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
we're flying over. Here we
All
come.
right. Thank you.
She'll
Come on over.
appreciate that so we can help with the dishes, right?
I know.
Uh, but thank you everyone for
Gorgeous.
joining us, spending your Monday evening here. We hope you got some tips or feeling a little more confident with cooking with greens in your own kitchen, and we hope to see you next month.
Yeah,
Any
look at all that.
questions?
Wow. Beautiful, chef.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys take care. I
Yes,
appreciate.
absolutely.
Right.
So good. Any questions? Anything in the chat? Lots of people saying thank you
Yes.
and that they're excited to cook. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll go make another round of kale chips. See what.
Oh, I had missed Heather's question about the benefits of nutritional
Yeah,
yeast,
isn't
but
it
yeah,
Yeah.
B12? Is
yeah,
it B12?
B12,
Yeah, yeah.
which is great, which we need if we're eating plant-based, right? So
Mhm.
exclusively, got to get our B12.
Oh,
Right, you guys
Okay.
go enjoy your evening. Thank you so much, Chef Alyssa. We will
thank
see
you
you
guys.
same place next month. Enjoy all that great food.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks for another
Good
great class.
night.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.